While the forces of Uruk-hai were laying siege to Helms Deep, Saruman sent another task force of Uruk-hai and Wildmen to burn Edoras, expecting to find it empty. Unfortunately for them, there was a force of Rohan that had stayed behind to protect their city. Now they are trying to fight off the attackers. They've held out long enough that Theoden and Eomer are arriving home from Helms Deep, ready to relieve the siege. Welcome back to Conquest Creations. My name is Jacob Lucas, and in today's video, we have a narrative battle report. A force of Uruk-hai and Wildmen are inside Edoras, burning it down. There's a force of Rohan trying to defend it, but they're being overwhelmed. Luckily, Theoden and Eomer have arrived with a handful of riders to relieve the battle.
Hey guys, it's Alex from Mount to Go Gaming. Today I'll be taking control of the armies of Isengard. I have a pretty even mix between some Dunlendings, some Uruk-hai scouts, and some fighting Uruk-hai. Hopefully, all those options means I can come out on top.
My army today is split into two halves, one that's inside Edoras and one half that's outside the gate. Inside Edoras, I have two captains of Rohan with full warbands, while outside the gates, I have Eomer and Theoden with a warband of riders. In total, each of our armies is 700 points. We're using slightly custom army rules for this battle report. My riders of Rohan still get +1 strength on the charge, while Alex's army only breaks when it hits 66% of its force destroyed. The objective for today's game is really simple. We're just trying to kill each other. It's going to end when one army is quartered, and whoever quarters their opponent will win this game. In this scenario, deployment starts with the defenders. So I went down with my two captains of Rohan with all their warriors in the top of Edoras, ready to defend it.
Next, the forces of Isengard drop down. They're in the middle of besieging Edoras, and as such, they're deep within. No one's on the walls. The Wildmen are scattered throughout the city.
And finally, Theoden and Eomer with their relief force go outside the walls, ready to run in and hopefully do a lot of damage. They're gonna need to. And here we are at the start of the game. Good luck, Alex. Let's see how this goes.
Let's go.
The scenery that we're playing on today is from the Kingdom of Saxonia Volume 2 Kickstarter. And look, by now you guys have probably heard that a bunch of times. You know, this terrain is made by wargamers for wargamers. It's great to play on, an easy print, all that good stuff. You already know that. Every time I make one of these ads, I say by backing the Kickstarter, you're not only getting yourself some awesome wargaming scenery, but you're also helping to support the channel to grow. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because of your awesome support, not only on the Kickstarter, but also on our Patreon, we've been able to grow our team and hire a video editor. I don't know if you guys have noticed how much better the past few videos have been, but he is just way better at editing than I ever was. So thank you for your support to allow us to do that. And in other big news, I'm about to move out of this studio that I'm currently recording in. I've been here for about 9 months, and this was always going to be a temporary setup. Obviously, pursuing full-time wargaming and making scenery as a full-time job was a little bit uncertain, but now thanks to your support, we're able to double down. Our next studio that we'll be setting up in the next few months is going to be a much more permanent setup, and it's not only going to allow us to make better and more frequent videos, but we're also going to be able to make better and more wargaming scenery for the community. So, thank you for your support. If you like what we do here and you want to see more of it, then consider heading over to the Kingdom of Saxonia Volume 2 Kickstarter. All right, let's get into this game. Because this is a narrative game, we decided that the attacking force would have priority on turn 1.
So, even though there are a force either side of us, realistically, Eomer and Theoden are a sight to behold, and they are going to destroy my forces. So we're going to push deeper into the city, try and wipe out the forces on foot, and then hopefully we can turn around and overwhelm the king and his nephew.
That went to my move, which started with my cavalry force charging through the gate. We want to get into combat as quickly as possible and start thinning down these hordes. And then with the rest of my defenders, they're just forming a shield wall on the stairs to stop this attacking force from doing too much damage to us.
This turn, my shooting was split between the forces above and the relief force below. Thankfully, the force below took 2 blows, 2 horses went down, which is honestly a big win.
That went to my shooting, where I had a bunch of shots and absolutely nothing was slain, so Alex's force is still at full strength.
So I won the priority roll and decided to keep priority. My leader and a couple of berserkers have started their way up the steps. Next turn they're going to be keen to punch through those forces up the top. Meanwhile, for the most part, we're just running away from Theoden and Eomer. There's a couple guys down there to hopefully delay them, but realistically, they're about to be run down.
That goes into my move, which is going to start with Eomer's throwing spear. So Eomer is going to charge forwards, be within an inch of him, see if I can kill him. That's a hit, and I need a 4 to take him down. A 3 is not good enough. So Aimer is just gonna hit and wrap around like that. And the rest of the riders just charge through straight into these 3 wildmen who are trying to hold the line. In the top of Edoras, my army is mainly staying still because we have a heap of throwing spears to go down into this advancing horde of Uruks. I also charged 1 crossbowman on the side, and I didn't manage to kill him with my throwing spear, but if I win that fight, I'll push him off the cliff, and hopefully that'll break his neck and kill him. So that goes into your shooting phase. Alex, what happened there?
Largely nothing. I thought I'd get more kills at the defense 5 and 4 guys up the top of Edoras, but had a random wildman go and wound Snowmane.
Yeah, so that's Theoden's horse. This is a really big fate. I don't want to lose this horse already. So before I take my fate, I'm going to try Horse Lord. On a 6, Snowmane's totally fine. After that, I need to worry about fate. Here we go, give me a 6. That's not a 6, so now I'm going to use my fate point on Snowmane to keep him alive. There's a 6, still riding my horse. That's such a huge relief. In my shooting phase, all these throwing spears went down into the lines of Urukai in front of them, and we managed to kill one of the berserkers. That actually felt really good. These 4 archers fired across at this Urukai that's climbed up the ladder, but didn't manage to get the kill. And finally, these 2 archers fired into this Urukai warrior and took him down as well. The first fight of the game is Theoden and a bunch of friends fighting against your wildman. You want to set the bar?
Easy. It's a big 5.
All right, here's Theoden. That's good. I was getting nervous there. And can Theoden get the kill? Absolutely takes him down. All right, the next one is Aimer, seeing if he can do the same as his uncle.
Absolutely not. Okay, maybe.
All right, here's Aimer. He'll win that, and unsurprisingly, you're dead. And that fight phase was a bit of a relief. For some reason, I had a premonition that I was going to botch and lose my horses, but they're still standing and ready to charge up into the horde in front of them. Priority for this turn has gone to the forces of Rohan, and I'm going to start with Aimer. He's going to charge up these stairs, and he's got a wildman in front of him there that he's going to throw a throwing spear at. This is a really big deal because if I can kill him, I can then hopefully fight the Wildmaker. But it relies on this roll going well. 4 to hit, that's a hit, and then a 4 to kill. That is a kill to take down this Wildman and open up the Oathmaker. And with the rest of the cav, they charged forwards, trying to get in as many fights as possible. They were mostly out of range, so I think I'm going to get charged quite a bit this turn, but I have my heroes fighting, which is all that matters to me. And these 2 riders that got dismounted, they're now on a side quest, just clearing out the bottom levels of Edoras. Here in the top of Edoras, we charged some of these guys that came up the ladders, but our main line is going to stay still. We're going to hold the top of the stairs and try to kill these Urukai. And that is the end of my move, so that goes to you, Alex.
So Aimer and Theoden have got into combat. Not much I can do except send more dudes in. So we've wrapped in as many dudes as we can. Banner's there, the Oathmaker's in. Up the top, however, a captain, 2 berserkers with a full row of pikes behind them. It's feeling pretty good. There's also one of my scout captains has ascended the ladders, gotten into combat. Hopefully he can force his way through. The Crebain have been kind of just flying around on the left flank. They've finally chosen this is their moment to pounce in. Hopefully they can just be really annoying, take up time for Jacob to try and deal with. They can't be trapped, they can't be knocked down, which is a real benefit to them.
My shooting for this phase was a bit uneventful. We didn't have as many shots as we did last turn, but we did manage to get a kill on this flank, the archers firing in and killing a wildman. So that takes us to the combat phase. Now, Alex, I've got a higher fight than the Oathmaker in there. Do you have any heroics to declare?
I'm just going to put the pressure on Aimer to make sure he has to win this fight. I'm going to heroic strength, so which will double my strength value for this fight up to strength 8.
Ooh.
So if you fluff, I can really put some hurt on him. Anything for yourself?
I am not going to call anything.
I want to end the game as quickly as possible. My captain right here at the top, heroic combat.
Wow, okay, I was not prepared for that.
And you know what? Saying that, my other captain, the scout captain, is going to, with his mate, try and heroic combat off that other Rohan warrior. We're just trying to get up here, get behind the defenses, and just rip them to shreds.
That is huge, and I'm terrified. Let's get into it. All right, I'm going to shield with my warrior against your heroic combat. That's good.
Making it tough for me. I need a 6. I'm on a 3 high. My 1 is on the captain. I'm going to have to banner this. I need at least a 5 or higher.
Oh, that is the 5.
I'm going to spend the might. I want to just rush through this. I don't want to have to spend any time. aim is right up my ass. I want to speed this up.
Yeah, I think it actually does make sense. Yeah, you don't need very high rolls to kill me.
Destroy him multiple times over. Get him out of there.
So he is very dead. And where's your captain gonna go?
Great idea. I don't want to take fights that won't help me. I'm gonna genuinely just hit this, take another 1v1, and now I've just hopefully made enough of a gap. Next turn we're gonna flood through, and hopefully the superior fight value will be to my benefit.
Yeah, interesting. And in your next heroic combat, I'm raising my shield again. Oh yeah.
My scout captain only has a two-handed weapon, so I need to hit the natural 6. I absolutely don't. I cannot win that fight.
Wow, that was lucky. And that's that scout captain just pushed back. Look, I'm taking the luck while I have it because I'm worried it's gonna run out at some point. The next fight that we did was my captain, and he lost against the Berserker, pushed back. That Berserker did 2 wounds to him, so it's a fate point to stay alive. Anything except for 1. So look, I'll take a 2, but I will have to spend a point of might to go to a 3, another point of might to go to a 4, so he's out of fate, out of might. He's still alive, at least. And in the next fight, I lost another warrior of Rohan. The next fight saw the Urukai captain that heroic combated get another kill, the Crebain pushed me back, and then a pikeman skewered another one of my archers. The next fight saw me do a wound to the Crebain, which is good. It's just got 3 wounds left to go. These things are tough. I lost the next 2 fights, but didn't take any more casualties. In the very bottom layer, my 2 riders of Rohan that got dismounted on their side quest successfully killed an Urukai. We went into the big cavalry charge, and this was really, really painful. I lost 3 riders of Rohan and only killed 1 Urukai in return, but we haven't gone with the heroes yet, so let's see if they can change this. Okay, now it's up to the Lord of Rohan. He's fighting 3 Urukai. How about you set the bar?
Let's do it. I have a 3 high.
Okay, that's really, really cool. I reckon I can beat that. I've got a 5.
Stunning. I don't think my banner's in range, just in case. It doesn't matter.
Yep. Okay. How many can I kill? So,
okay, winning on 4s everywhere.
First one, dead, dead, dead.
That's what we want to see from the King of Rohan.
Yeah, not gonna lie, after what just happened, that felt really, really good. Hopefully Aemma can do the same. Aemma fighting 2 Wildmen and the Oathmaker. The Oathmaker's up to strength 8 here.
Strength 8, and I got a 2-hander in there on the pretty blue dice.
Yeah.
Shall I set the bar for you?
Set the bar, please.
Come on, 6, in with a 6.
That's a 6, so I've got 3 attacks normally, +1 for the charge. So here's my 4 dice. There's a 5, but I do have a banner as well. So here's my banner reroll. And you know what? That is the easiest point of might I've ever spent in my life.
It's a point of might you didn't have to spend before. I guess I'll have to take it.
First strike on the Oathmaker. That is 1 wound. Second strike on the Oathmaker. That is 2 wounds, but this is a 6, and I have the sword Gulfwine, which means every time I get a 6, I get to roll another attack.
That's cool and all. I'm still dead already.
Yeah, you're dead on the 3.
You didn't have to push it in so bad. The Oathmaker is dead. You still have 2 more attacks to make.
That's a dead Wildman and a dead Wildman. So at the end of the fight phase, I don't think I can complain. That went really well. Both Theoden and Aemma got exactly what they needed to get. And this is the state of the board at the start of the next turn. Priority went to you, Alex, but I've called a heroic move with Theoden. I had a big think about whether or not I should call it with this captain in here, but decided against it because, look, either way, it wasn't really going to help me that much. I charged Aemma into the Berserker because he has that fight 6, which is better than the Berserker's fight 5, and then the rest of the guys are just charging in. My Bannerman is exposed this turn, and I really don't want him to die. All right, it's your move, Alex. What's this guy doing?
We're definitely going to go for that exposed Bannerman. He can't reach those, so we're just going to charge this charging one. Hopefully we can win and drag him down. There's only a couple things I can do in the middle here. I think I want to keep putting the pressure on Aemma. I want him to keep spending might to win the fights. And the 2-handed Wildman is definitely the person to help.
Yeah,
this Bannerman is going to come over here. He's going to jump over the fence, get away from Aemma, and still provide his banner effect. Roll a 5, jumping over, hopefully to safety.
The Wildmen of Dunland have Hatred Rohan, which gives him +1 to wound. And this guy also has a 2-hander, meaning he would get +2 to wound against Aemma, which is genuinely pretty scary.
Up the top, we have the numbers, we have the quality of troops. We've now started to flood through. My scout captain from the flank has decided to join in on the main section. The Crebain are just here to be annoying. They've tried to grab 2 troops where possible, even grabbing spear supports. Otherwise, 1v1s are the name of the game. Berserkers have gone to captains. They're just better than them, and we're gonna try and cut them down. pretty happy with what's happening up top.
I honestly didn't have many models left to move after this. I just have my 2 guys in the back house running up to support their king and a couple models to shimmy around. But we're about to go into a fight phase that I think is going to really hurt me. And going into the combat phase, I'm not going to be calling anything because I need to conserve my might. Anything from you, Alex?
I only have 1 might, so don't think we're going to be spending it this turn. Probably waiting for a clutch heroic move once Aemma and Theoden try and make a play up near the top.
All right, let's just start fighting. The first fight was the Crebain, who managed to push the Bannerman back and then kill him, but he could pass it off to his friend. The next fight saw my captain kill a Berserker, and then I lost a warrior of Rohan. My next captain fought, unfortunately lost the fight and took 1 wound, and then I put a wound onto the Crebain. And then the scout captain killed 1 more warrior. The 2 archers on the flank fought, and impressively, neither of them died. The rest of the fights finished up with me getting 1 more kill, and overall, this was an insanely good turn for me up here. I was expecting to lose at least half a dozen guys. Instead, I only lost 2, and I killed more than that. Down with the charging cavalry, my Bannerman was the first one this turn to go down, which obviously feels really bad. After that, I lost another charging cav, and then I lost a fight, but managed to survive. Alex, how did that feel?
Honestly, pretty good. I would have loved to get rid of the last non-hero mounted model. But we still got Theoden and Aemma to do. They still have to keep rolling those 6s.
All right, the first fight is Theoden. Let's see how this goes.
On a 4.
I'm on a 5. You have a banner, though. Don't take another point of might out of me.
Fantastic. And it is!
Oh, I'm going to spend it.
Yep, makes sense.
Yep. Now I want to kill these guys. First one, got him. And the second one, oh, didn't even kill him. That's sad. All right, now it's Aemma. You gonna 2-hand with that Berserker?
I'm not. I have two-handing Wildmen. I don't need to go too crazy.
All right, you set the bar for me.
Although, I probably need a 6 to win anyway. Yo, go hard, go home. Everything 2 hands.
All right, let's see it.
Roll the 6. Yes!
Oh, please get a 6. I don't want to spend any more might here. There we go. Huge.
Could have been massive if you didn't roll the 6 there, but alas, they're probably all gonna die now.
All right, Berserker. That is 1 wound and a Gulfwine strike. That's 1 wound, but he's dead.
Doesn't block it. Haven't hit 1 so far.
The next Wildman, dead. The next Wildman, dead. So Aemma is absolutely clearing these guys out. He has killed a lot of models so far. And next turn priority went to you, Alex, because I rolled a 1. I've decided I'm going to call a heroic move down here with Aemma. That means he has just 1 point of might left, but look, I think that the top side here in Edoras has done well not to be totally wiped out so far, and I can't rely on that continuing to happen, so I want to get there and fight. I've also decided to call a heroic move with my captain of Rohan up here, because I want to keep all these guys contained. You gonna call anything?
So yeah, because you've called with the captain now as well, I'm gonna call my last might with the scout captain. If I lose, he tried. If I win though, I can both tag the captain and the dudes around him, and hopefully pull out of range of Aemma, so we have to dawdle down the bottom for another turn.
All right, give us a live roll off. 1, 2, 3 goes evil, 4, 5, 6 goes good.
Underhand, 1, 2, 3, incoming, bang.
Oh,
Every
okay.
time.
Yeah, that's not
It's
ideal.
skills, let's be honest. So with that, we've been able to lock up everything up there, get a heap of traps. The banner is in a bit of an awkward position, but overall, don't mind. The banner is stuck between a Crebain and the captain, and now I should be out of range of Aemma, so overall, pretty good use of my point.
I would have really liked to win that move off, but I didn't. At least Aemma can still go. He's going to throw a throwing spear at this guy. That's a hit, and no kill. Then Theoden's going to come over and charge this Wildman, and yeah, we'll try to take down this Bannerman. My last 2 warriors just charged into the Urukai crossbowmen. They're still going to be able to be charged by the Wildman, but this turn's just about getting the most of what I can out of what I have.
Well, had a couple guys left. 1 charge to Aemma, just for fun.
Up the top, I have my last couple warriors in here just charging in where they could. And before we go into this fight phase, I am 5 models off broken, and Alex is 11 models off break because he has the 66% break rule. So this is a pretty important turn. I need to keep putting out damage if I want to keep on track and not fall behind his kills. The first fight was a good start. I managed to kill a crossbowman. The next 2 fights saw me win against the Crebain and the Urukai warrior, but they're both still standing. I chose for the captain to go first. I lost the fight, I took a wound, but I passed my fate to stay in it. The next fight saw my banner very sadly go down. It's not a surprise, but it still hurts. After that bannerman went down, we took 3 more casualties and we managed to kill 2 in return, which honestly was pretty good result for the Warriors of Rohan. We're not broken as we go into the last fights down with the cavalry. All right, Alex, which fight are we going to start with in here?
We're actually going to go for the Theoden fight first.
All right, set the bar.
I have a 6 on the non-two-hander.
Dude, that's not what I wanted. I have 1 point of might on Theoden.
Oh, stunning.
Okay, that's not good. So I have 2 wounds and no fate. Are you going to bother going for the horse or just try to kill me?
I'm going to do the the two-hander into Theoden himself.
Nothing. No
For
wounds.
the horse on the second one.
Nothing
Oh,
again.
absolutely heartbreaking.
That is huge. Thank you. I lost the next 2 fights, but just pushed back and didn't take any damage, and now it's Aema.
6s.
So that was a double shield.
Double shielded.
That was weak.
Don't say it. I'm trying my best.
I've got the 6s there. So on the first guy, dead. The next guy, not dead yet, dead. So another 2 kills for Aema. The last fight was the bannerman who won his fight, but he didn't wound me, which means I'm still 1 off broken. Priority for this turn have gone to the forces of Rohan, so it's my turn to charge. I'm going to start with Theoden, and he's actually going to charge into those exact 2 wildmen that he fought before. I just need to kill 7 more models to break Alex, and when he's broken, he's close to quarter, which hopefully will get me close to winning this game. Aema is now going to do a throwing spear at this wildman. Oh, I missed. I really wanted to hit that because if I killed him, he could have gone all the way up here into those pikes. But instead, he's just stuck fighting 1 guy. It's not great. This throwing spear is going to charge into that banner because if I can kill him with the throwing spear, he can't pass it off. I've hit. I need a 5 to get the kill. Oh, guys. I just want to get these kills, so I'm charging it here with my Bride of Rohan. With the rest of my warriors, I'm just charging in. I've actually got a decent amount of guys on the flank. They just need to hold out until the heroes can arrive to relieve them. In the main body of the force, my goal is just to avoid getting traps and to keep my captain, who still has might, alive. So hopefully he won't be trapped this turn, and everyone else is just trying to hold off the Urukai.
Crebain, all the way down, get the trap on Theoden, and
Wow.
either risk it and you can maybe die, or make Aema spend that might point to go take care of the Crebain.
Yeah,
That is a full wound Crebain as well.
That was, I'd left that Crebain because he couldn't get into my captain, so I was happy about that, and I couldn't quite charge him with my guys. I was not expecting that play. Let's fight. At the start of this combat phase, I'm just 1 model off broken, so Alex, you just desperately need a kill.
Badly.
The first fight was my warrior trying to take down the bannerman, but he didn't get the kill. Then my charging Rite of Rohan didn't kill the Urukai crossbowman, which is annoying, but then the hero was the archer who killed a wildman. The first fight was against the Crebain and the warrior. I managed to win, which was nice, but I didn't do any damage. The next fight was against the scout captain. I managed to deal 2 wounds, but Alex passed his fate, which was devastating, and that nearly swung in my favor massively. I lost the next 2 fights, but didn't take any damage yet, just backing up. My captain, who's on 1 wound with no fate, managed to kill a pikeman next. And finally, the berserker managed to kill my warrior, which has ensured I am broken. The next fight was my captain fighting these 2 pikemen. I lost that fight. Well, I got a 5, you got a 6. I could spend my last point of might to take it to a roll off, but I haven't. So just back me up. And 1-6, and he's dead with a point of might in the bank.
How about 2?
Oh, no.
How about 2, Jacob?
Oh, that is...
Get him out of here.
Yep.
Massive, and there goes a might point with him.
After the captain went down, the warriors lost their inspiration. I lost 3 more in a row. The fights down here started with Aema just getting a kill. He didn't even need a camera to show how good he is, but now it's Theoden. He's trapped. It's a little bit dangerous for him. All right, set the bar, Alex.
I have a 5.
5. I've got 3 attacks because I charged.
Yep.
I do have a point of might. There we go. Huge. Got the 6. Now that Crebain still has 4 wounds.
Yes, it does.
I just need to kill the wildman. So first wildman, dead. Second wildman, dead. Crebain. That's a wound on the Crebain.
Fair enough. So as I back away after Theoden won the combat, I'm actually going to make sure I back away this way. Just so if Aema wants to get by me here, that's to do some risky jumping over the fence, or has to charge into me for a couple turns.
Yeah, we don't like that, so I'm bottlenecked. All right, here we are at the start of the next turn. I am 3 away from quarter, which will end the game.
And I'm 2 away from breaking, which if I break and then you get to charge me one more turn, I might just lose the game off courage tests.
And keep in mind that your break is 66%, so you're actually
Really close.
Yeah, deceptively close to quartered. All right, this is a very, very, very important roll for priority. You roll first?
And that goes
Well.
directly to me because you chose last turn.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm taking it.
You know what? I'm gonna call a heroic move. I'm gonna call it with Theoden because I just need to get up into the fight. So I've done a lot of thinking about this move, but Theoden is not gonna call with me. He's just gonna charge straight up into these 2 pikemen and do his best to kill the Urukai. I did a lot of thinking, and I think this is the best plan. So that goes to your move, Alex.
We need to get someone into aim to stop him. That's probably the Crebane's job. I've then had all 3 Urukai down the bottom, including the banner charging the Rider of Rohan. He's currently the most dangerous to me. I've left the other 2 because they have no stand fast, and they're decently likely to have at least 1 run away. Up the top, my Crebane has joined in against Theoden, as well as a pike support. Hopefully we can stunt him and maybe even kill him. Otherwise, every fight is either to hold up Rohirrim, leave them because they're out of range of Theoden stand fast, or just absolutely trap them and get the kills. I only need a couple more kills to end the game and maybe have victory.
That goes to my regular move that's going to start with this one Warrior of Rohan who's an archer. Courage test has failed. He's fled the board. Just 1 more and then I'm quartered and it's all over. I've got 2 more courage tests down here on this guy. Oh, he's fled as well. No. So that is me quartered. This is the last turn. And then finally this guy here. He's good. He's excited to be here. He's just going to charge in. That goes into the combat phase with no heroics, and it started off with my captain. He's been wounded all game. He's finally dead. In the next fights, I lost 3 Warriors of Rohan in a row, truly marking the doom of Rohan. Next, we saw the Rider and the Archer go down. This is a brutal last turn. Aema just did 2 wounds to the Crebane, meaning it's still alive. These things are so tanky. And the last fight of the game, it's Theoden fighting a bunch of dudes. You set the bar here.
Crebane and 3 friends. I'm only on a 4.
I can beat that. On a 6, so I will win that.
Banner won't help me.
And at the first Urukai, got the kill.
Yep.
At the second Urukai, gets the kill.
Gonna smack a bird.
I'll smack a bird. No damage on the bird. But that does mean you're broken.
Oh, true. Yeah, fair enough.
So we made it. We didn't get there soon enough, but we got the break, which is something. And here we are at the end of the game. I have been quartered, which means it is a victory to the evil side. And we've made it to the end. Unfortunately, Rohan didn't take out the victory here, but we tried our hardest and we did break Alex. So just a couple more turns and this game could have gone differently.
This game has been amazing. Back and forth, dice rolls going both ways, but ultimately the quality of Isengard has pulled ahead and managed to tear down Edoras and tear down its men. It's a victory for the evil side. It's just what happens.
Make sure to check out Mountain Goat Gaming and the Kingdom of Saxonia Volume 2 Kickstarter.